Morning everyone. I thought I'd start a spend the day or maybe 48 hours with me. So I'm just about to do my face. I don't think I'm going to put any makeup on. I'm just going to cleanse it and put moisture on and what have you. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to give you a short catch up on Warren's treatment. He had his fourth round of chemo a week ago, so that's the one where he's actually in hospital for 3 days. It is the harsher round. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know what I'm talking about, and if you haven't, then I will put a link to them down below, so if you want to see what's going on, you can. He tolerated the treatment quite well. He was only in hospital for 2 nights this time. I think he just gets bored more than anything else when he's in the hospital. So he did walk up and down the corridors on the ward a few times. He said one day he did 4,000 steps up and down the corridors. I think he only goes really slow, but it does give him a little bit of exercise. So he came home on Wednesday. We can't go out anywhere after he's had the chemo because he's really susceptible to infections. That's the first week, and then the second week when his neutrophils drop, he's even more susceptible to infections. So the second week we don't go anywhere either. So he's quite bored in the house, and I know, you know, we say do a jigsaw, read a book, but I think when you've been used to being quite active in your job, and then you go from that to just sit in the house all day, I think that's what's taken the toll on him. He's not sleeping very well, which is could be a side effect from the chemo, I think. He's losing his sense of taste, which he's obviously not happy about. He likes really hot, spicy food, and what was hot and spicy to him before is no longer hot and spicy. So he's making it even more hot and spicy and getting frustrated that that's not doing the trick. So I've been taking some time away from YouTube because the week before he went in for his chemo, he was struggling a little bit and I was struggling a little bit. And then the week he has his chemo, I don't know, I just wasn't very motivated to do YouTube, and I just wanted to spend some time concentrating on me. So that's why I haven't been around for a while. But this is the second week. He's starting his 7 days of injections again to boost his neutrophils. But unfortunately that gives him a lot of bone pain, which is not a good thing. The doctors have said take paracetamol for it, but it doesn't really work. And it's usually through the night that it causes the problems. But he knows it's coming, so he just has to get through it. I don't know what's wrong with my hair at the moment. I'm washing it every other day, and it's just, I don't know what's going on with it. I think I need a better kind of spray to put on after I've washed it to give it a little bit more body. I'm not going anywhere today, so I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a run through with the straighteners and see if that helps. So yes, we had a meeting with Warren's consultant the week before last, and Warren had another scan just to see how the treatment's going, and the consultant said it's been a very good partial response. The lymph nodes are reducing, so we're kind of hoping that means the treatment is working and he will go into remission. As I've said before, that it is treatable mantle cell lymphoma, but it can't be cured. So at some point in the future it will come back. But this Nordic protocol chemotherapy is the best chance of a longer term remission, so that's why he opted for the harsher one. But you know, halfway through, A very good partial response is probably the best thing we could have asked for. So I'm taking that as a positive. Still got a long way to go yet, but that is positive. And the physical, what's the word I'm looking for? The physical effect on him isn't as bad as what we thought it was going to be. There are things that are worse than we thought they were going to be, and things like he hasn't got nausea all the time, but he does have his hands shake quite a lot. He's very, very fatigued. He can't walk very far. So those are probably things we weren't expecting, but I suppose it swings and roundabouts. All in all, he's feeling okay, mainly bored, like I said. So I think that's the best that my hair's going to get today. Like I said, I'm not going anywhere, so let's not worry about that. I feel a little bit pale, but yeah, never mind. I actually went for my flu jab on Saturday. I wouldn't normally have them. I get offered the flu jab every year and the pneumonia jab because I'm diabetic. Sometimes I have the flu jab, sometimes I don't. But because Warren has to have the flu jab and the COVID booster, then I have opted to have them this year as well, because I can't afford to get ill and pass on infection to him, because that would just be disastrous. So I had my flu jab on Saturday. My arm was a little bit sore and I felt a little bit achy, but nothing major. And I'm having the COVID booster next week, which they actually don't do at the doctors. I have to go to the local chemist for the COVID booster. So we'll see how that goes. But I'll check back in with you soon. We're just having a cooked breakfast. Kind of fancied one today. So this one's mine, obviously with me Play-Doh vegetarian bacon. And this one is Warren's. So he's going for the full works. Some people lose their appetite when they have chemo. Well, Warren hasn't lost his appetite, even though he's losing his sense of taste, hasn't lost his appetite, which is good. It's now 20 to 9. I'm just going to do a little bit of work. I kind of have to fit work in around other things, so I decided to work between 9 and 12 and then spend the rest of the day with Warren. Obviously I'm working in the house, so if he needs anything I'm always on hand. It doesn't always work out like that, but we give it a go. I've got me call at 9:30 this morning with Reiki, who I think I've mentioned before. We have an accountability call every Monday morning, usually every Monday morning, where we talk about what we're planning to do for work that week. We say what we're going to do, and then the next week we say if we've done it or not, and if we haven't, why we didn't, if there were any problems. She is a blogger and a YouTuber as well, so it works quite well. And we also talk about Marvel stuff as well, because we're both big Marvel fans. So I'm going to do a little bit of work this morning. This part of today's video is sponsored by Serious Lights, and I'm going to talk about the book club that I started. So I started a book club last month, and we read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and we did the live YouTube review of it, which I really enjoyed. I think there was about 30 people on the YouTube live chatting in the chat, and it was really enjoyable, and everybody seemed to enjoy that. So this month's book, October 2024, is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. We picked 4 different books and then we vote for which one we want to read, and this one got the most votes. And it says this story is about what it is like to be a woman during World War II, when women's stories were all too often forgotten or overlooked. So that sounds like a really interesting book. So because this portion of the video is sponsored by Serious Lights, I'm just going to pop a clip in here telling you about the light they sent me, what I've used it for and what I think of it. I was very happy to receive this high definition table light from Serious Lights, because I was really finding it difficult to read on a night time. Through the day was fine, but nighttime my eyes were feeling a little bit strained when I was trying to read. This table light features the daylight wavelength technology, which actually replicates the daylight spectrum as close as technically possible. So it's really good for eye strain. So good for when you get older and you're struggling to read when it's getting darker. The on-off button is just on the back, and there you can see the beam onto the table. You can actually make the beam smaller and you can make it wider, so you've got some more space if you need a bigger surface area to see, which we actually found really useful when we were playing a board game on family games night recently. We found that very useful, and it would also be good if you were doing crafts as well. As well as the changing the beam of the light, you can also make it go dimmer, so if you didn't want as much daylight, and you can make it a lot brighter if you need a lot more daylight. I chose the black version. It also comes in white, and as this is the cordless version, it is the heavyweight base. Now it also comes with the charger and cable, and you plug this charger into the back of the light just there. It takes 2 hours to fully charge, and then you get 7 hours of light after that before it runs out. I do like the kind of bendy neck on this, so you can, put it really low to where you want it, or you can bend it back up, and it is really sturdy. We actually found this really useful recently as well when we were doing a jigsaw, because when we use the light that is above the table, you do get a bit of a shine on the jigsaw, which makes it difficult to see the pieces, but this doesn't have a glare, so this Sirius light really worked well for that. Like I said, you can also get this in white, and you can get the bendy neck bit in black, nickel or brass. I got it in the nickel. Sirius Lights have offered a discount code to anybody who wants to go across and buy one of these lights. It also comes in a floor light if you don't want the table version. I wanted the table version so I could move it around into different places, which I thought would be really useful. And the discount code is Karen24, which I will put in the description box below along with the link, and that will get you £100 off one of the high definition lights, and you will also get free UK delivery. So if you are interested in having more of a look at the Sirius light, I will leave the link to that in the description box below. At the moment I'm reading Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. Now, I read one of his books. There's a series of 4 of these, and I read this one a couple of months ago, and this is called Before Your Memory Fades. Now, I'm reading them in the wrong order. There is 4, and you're supposed to read Before the Coffee Gets Cold first. Then there is a one called Tales from the Cafe. Then this one, Before Your Memory Fades, and then Before We Say Goodbye. And I didn't realise that they were a series when I read this one. I think they're all kind of standalone books. You get the gist of what it's all about without having to read the other ones, but it would have been nice to read them in the right order. So what it's about is, it is a cafe in Japan, and people can visit the past, but you can only visit the past if you're sitting at a specific table. The person you want to talk to in the past has to have also visited the cafe at some time. And the idea is that you can only spend as much time in the past as it takes for your coffee to get cold. So if you haven't finished whatever you were doing in the cafe, talking to that person before your coffee gets cold, then you can't return to the future. You can't return to the present. And you can't leave the table in the cafe while you're in the past. Sounds complicated, but it's really not. And there's about 4 different people's stories in each of the books. The characters who work in the coffee shop are all, they go through the book, all 4 books as well. So you've got some kind of link between them all. But I found the first one, when I first started reading it, I thought, I don't know really what this is about, but as I got to the end, I thought I really enjoyed that, and some of the lessons that were learned by the people visiting the past I thought were really, really interesting. So I thought I would get the first one and start again, and I probably will get the second and the fourth one as well. So yeah, Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, I can recommend these books. But if you want to join the book club, you don't actually have to join. You don't have to, give your email or sign up or anything like that. I'm not charging for it. Then I'm going to start a Facebook group, I think, for the book club, because at the moment I've just been posting things on the YouTube community page and I think they can get missed. So I'm going to start a Facebook group, which I will put in the link in the description box below. So if anybody wants to come across and join the Facebook group, it will be a private group, so you will have to kind of click join to join it, and then you can talk anything about books that we want in there, as well as the upcoming book of the month and the dates for the live YouTube chat. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to get on with a little bit of work now. I'm probably going to set up the Facebook group now so it's ready by the time this video goes out, and then you can join it. So I'll see you soon. So Nicola's decided to pop in and she has brought some
pumpkin spice donuts.
Why did you do that, Nicola? Why? I'm going to have to eat them now. So it's now 2:30 and my day hasn't gone according to plan. The hospital rang Warren when my daughter was here earlier and said, I think they rang at about 20 to 11 and they said you are supposed to be here at 10:30 for your weekly appointment, because he goes every week for to get the PICC line flushed and to get his bandage changed and to get bloods taken. So they said you were supposed to be here at 10:30 this morning, and Warren's like, well, nobody told us, nobody gave us the appointment. They said they would ring us and nobody rang us. So luckily my daughter was here, so she was able to take me through to the hospital for his blood tests and what have you. Everything was fine. So we've just got back. So the day hasn't gone according to plan. I mentioned last time that we'd sent the UC50 in to get the limited capability for work part on the universal credit, but the Centre for Health and Disability was saying they received it after the deadline, which I don't believe was true because we'd sent it in before that. But anyway, so we managed to get someone from Universal Credit to give a ring last week. Was it last week or the week before? It might have been, I've lost track of the days a little bit. I think it might have been over a week ago they rang. And she said she'd put an urgent sticker on it to say, can it be reopened, because they'd closed it. We haven't heard anything else since then, so I don't know whether they've reopened it or not. She says she couldn't guarantee it. So we've no idea what's going on. I've kind of got to the end of my rope with the DWP. So because that UC50 form and the limited capability for work hasn't been actioned, Warren has to put sick notes in. And the first sick note he had in was only for 3 months and that ran out. So we got another one from the consultant the last time we saw him, and that's for 6 months. I mean, he's on chemotherapy, he's very susceptible to infection, he's a painter and decorator, he can't work. So because that UC50 hasn't been actioned, Warren today has to have a telephone work interview with the Universal Credit people, which to me is absolutely ridiculous. They're going to ring him and they're going to ask him what he's been doing to look for work or what he's been doing to try and earn some money. I mean, how ridiculous. There's loads of entries on the journal, on the Universal Credit, that he's got mantle cell lymphoma, that he can't work, that these sick notes are in, but apparently he still has to have this telephone appointment. I mean, how much of a waste of public money is that? I mean, how many more appointments are they doing like that are completely irrelevant and a waste of time? It beggars belief, honestly. I have to take a deep breath because I was getting so worked up about all of these things that I can't do anything about. So I just have to just take a deep breath and right, just let it go. And Warren's doing the same, but it is extremely frustrating. So he's got that at 4:20. So we'll see how that goes. So for tea tonight, we are having curry. So I've got a prawn curry. Warren has a chicken curry. We've got some spicy naan breads, some boiled rice, some spicy poppadoms, and some raita, mango chutney, and lime pickle. So hopefully it's spicy enough for Warren to taste. It's now 6:10. We've had our tea. That was a Patak's curry mix that we had, and it was actually really nice, and it was very spicy, and even Warren could taste the spice, so that was good. So he had his call with the Universal Credit people, which was supposed to be a work interview. He hadn't even said anything, and the woman said, I've looked through your journal and I can see what's happening, and basically waste of time, the call. And Warren had said, I'm waiting for the UC50 to be processed, and she says, that could take 1 to 2 months, and so a complete and utter waste of time, that phone call. But anyway, we'll move on from it and we'll just wait and see what happens. So we're going to watch an episode of a series we've just started watching called Capital, with, I think the guy's called Toby Jones, who was in Detectorists. It's an odd kind of thing. We've watched the first episode, and it's about some people in this street, and they keep getting postcards through their door saying, we want what you have. And the houses are apparently worth 2.5 million each or something. And it kind of goes into the stories and the background of each of these families. So it had us intrigued. So we'll see what the next episode brings. There's only 4 episodes. So I may catch up with you later tonight, and if not, it'll be in the morning. It's 9:30 on Tuesday morning now. I've had a shower. I used some of this on my face, which is the Lacura Weekend Mode Exfoliating Mask. I found it in one of my drawers. I think I must have bought this last year and I've never used it. So I used it this morning. And it's it's got like a scrubby texture to it, and you just put it on clean, dry skin, leave it for 10 minutes, then massage it into your skin to get it to foam up, and then just wash it off with warm water. And it has left my skin feeling really, really nice. So I'm pleased I found that in my drawer. I think I'm a little bit run down at the moment because my skin isn't the best. I'm not eating properly. Just the slightest little thing is sending us to the biscuits or the packet of crisps. So I'm eating quite a lot of junk food. I need to get back on the low carb, but I just think with all that's going on, that's not going to happen at the moment. So I just have to try and distract myself so I don't eat the snacks. I watched the last 3 episodes. Well, I watched the 3 episodes because we'd watched one. There was only 4 episodes of the whole series of Capital that I was telling you about. So we watched the last 3 episodes last night. It was an enjoyable watch. It was interesting. We did enjoy it. I would recommend it, but don't expect anything majorly fantastic. But yeah, it was definitely watchable. I think tonight we're going to start watching something called Show Trial on BBC One. There's 2 series of it, so I don't know how long the first one's been on there, but we'll start watching the first series tonight and see what that's like. So we seem to be watching a lot of TV. I did do some what I call creative journaling. I just love stickers, so most of my journaling involves stickers, and I just did a couple of pages in my my little book the other night. So this one I did first, which I wasn't totally happy with it, but it does look nice. So this was the second one I did, which makes me more happy to look at. It's very autumnal. I just really enjoy doing it. It kind of relieves the stress doing it, and then when I look back through the book, it does make us happy to look at the pages. So yeah, I will continue to do me stickers in my journal, creative journaling, as I would say. I actually created some of my own stickers. Using Canva, which I do have a pro account. I've had it for quite a few years because I use it for my blog and for YouTube. Sorry, I was just distracted by my computer there. So I decided to make some of my own stickers with Canva because I wanted some coffee themed stickers and I didn't particularly want to buy them. And I had some plain white sticker paper that I can print out. So these are the little stickers I made. I need to kind of cut around them before I use them on anything. And just a nice cozy little feel, I thought. You can just select the pictures from Canva, arrange them on your A4 sheet, and then print them out. And I did have a colour ink cartridge in my printer, so I thought I would use it. That one's cute. But I didn't have any coffee themed ones, and I just fancied doing a double page spread with some coffee stickers, so I printed those out. I'm going to try and do some ones with like maybe a little cute Halloweeny theme and do a spread like that. But yeah, I do enjoy playing around with stickers. If anybody else does that, let us know in the comments below. I just thought I'd show you our fish tank because this is another thing that Warren can't do at the moment. He can't clean the fish tank. So we have to get our daughter-in-law over, Hayley, to clean it. She's got a fish tank, so she knows what she's doing. And I haven't got a clue. So she comes over to clean it because apparently you can pick up infections from them. Warren does feed the fish, but he uses these rubber gloves to do it. So I just thought I'd quickly show you the tank. It's mostly black fish. Now this started from 2 black fish and had babies, and now we have multiple black fish. We do have one orange fish, which I don't know if I can see. I can't spot it. Apparently these black fish are platies. These little white ones I think are called corridors, but I call them corianders. And we have some big fish in here. There's one hiding at the back. They lie on the bottom on the side and they look dead, but they're not. Until you feed them, then they're up and around. There's a couple of the bigger ones you can see just going round the back of the rock there. So yeah, that's the fish tank. It is now 5:30. It has been an absolutely horrible day outside. Raining all day, foggy. It's still fairly warm though, but it means we haven't been out anywhere. I'll just show you my little gonks on my window. I do like a seasonal window sticker. They just make us happy when I look at them. I just think they're cute. I do like a gunk. I mentioned this plant a while ago and I wasn't sure how to cut it down because it was touching the ceiling, but all you had to do was take it down by the bottom of the stem, one of the stems, and cut it off, and then if you put it in water it actually propagates it and grows again. So I gave the cut off to my daughter-in-law. I keep saying my daughter-in-law, Hayley. So yeah, it's still growing though, so eventually in a couple of months it's going to need chopping again, but it looks a lot better than it did. I think tonight Warren's probably going to work on his Lego. He's had this for a while, but he hasn't been doing it because I think he didn't want to do the Lego and not have any Lego. So I've been saying to him, are you not going to do your Lego? So he eventually started it. And this is the Jaws set. So he's got the boat done, and I think there's a base and a shark to go with it, so he'll probably be doing some of that. I may do a little bit of journaling I said we're going to start watching that show Trial. We did actually watch an episode earlier today, a couple episodes maybe. Told you it's been a very dull day, not much to do. But yeah, the first two episodes were quite good, so we'll continue watching that. We're just about to have some tea or dinner, whatever you want to call it. This is what I'm having. This is what I'm having tonight. It is just some toast with some red pepper hummus, hard-boiled eggs with some paprika sprinkled on the top. I actually had leftover curry for lunch, so I'm not feeling that hungry tonight, although that's probably quite filling. I've got my little Halloween candle on, which is an absolutely lovely smell of like a pumpkin spicy cinnamon kind of smell. Smells really good. I'm not sure if Milo is still down the side of here. Yes, she is. Hello, Milo. She's having a very sleepy day as well. Psst, 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 psst. Are you going to say hello? Hello? She says, why have you woken us up? So I'm going to finish that vlog here because, like I said, I don't really have much else to say or much else to do today. I think when we're stuck in the house, especially when it's raining and we can't even go out for a walk, there's not a lot really to say. So I hope you found it interesting anyway. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.